Okay, now we get into the story problem portion of this standard. Two runners run for equal amounts of time. The first runner runs a distance of 16 meters. The second runner runs a distance of 14 meters. First runner averages 5 meters per second faster than the other racer. Find the time each runner traveled for. So you're finding the time. So seconds. Blank. Now they run for the same amount of time. That's why there's only one answer. So we go to our distance, speed, time table. Remember how that works. That's going to be split in half, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're just going to put number fast and slow. Okay, now this is your speed. This is your distance. And this is your time, and remember, time is equivalent to distance divided by speed. Now, speed has to have the word per. And the only thing you see about per is 5 meters per second faster. So that means more. So what I do is put X on both of these, and then the fast one I add 5 to it. Okay, and that takes care of 5 meters per second. Now the distance is just the meters without the word per. So the fast one does 1600 and the slow one does 1400. The fast one's going to do more, so you got to put the 1600 for fast, 1400 for slow. And then the time is equivalent to distance over speed. So the distance is 1600 and the speed is x plus 5. And then our distance here is 1400. And the speed's x. And I know that the times are the same, so those are equal. So I set up a proportion, 1600 over x plus 5 equals 1400 over x. Now you only have two ratios here. You don't need to do all that LCD crap. You do that when there's three. There's only one ratio, two ratios. So I can get by with the A, B, C, D. So I make my parentheses, and I know I always multiply A by C and then C by D. So A is 1,600, and then B is X, or 1X, and then C would be 1,400, and D is 1X plus 5. So 1,600 times 1X is 1,600X, and on the other side I need to distribute the 1,400 to each one of those. That's 1,400x plus 7,000. Okay, you have x only, regular x only, so pick a x to get rid of. We'll pick this one. So 200x equals 7,000. And I divide each side by 200. 35. Okay, now that's not your answer though, because the x is my speed. Okay, I'm not looking for the speed. Okay, so everywhere I see x, I'm going to put 35. So he goes 35 meters per second, and he goes 40 meters per second. Now to find the actual number of seconds, what you need to do, that's your time. So you need to plug in 35 for x here and for here. Okay, now, you know 35 plus 5 is 40, right? And then take 1,600 divided by 40, that's 40. Now divide 1,400 by 35, and that's also 40. So the seconds they run for is 40. Okay, so it's not like the ones from earlier where once you solve for x, you got your answer. You got to plug those into your time box and then divide. Okay, next one. Two cars travel for the same amount of time. The first car travels a distance of 900 miles. The second car travels a distance of 800 miles. If the first car travels 30 miles per hour further than the first car, than the second car, I should say second car, For how many hours were they traveling? So down here, your answer is hours. So your job is to find the time. So I set up my distance, speed, time box. So I have fast and slow. So you have your speed, you got your distance, and you got your time. And we know the time is distance divided by speed. So the speed, you're looking for the per. 30 miles per hour further. So that doesn't mean you just put 30 and call it good. You put X on both because both of them are unknown, but then the fast one goes 30 miles per hour faster. So 30, I can ignore that. Now the distance is just the miles. So the fast is 900 and the slow is 800. And for the time, I have to use my distance divided by speed. So 900 divided by 1x plus 30. Then 800 divided by 1x. So set those equal to each other because the times are the same. So 900 over 1x plus 30 is equal to 800 over 1x. So A, B, C, D, because there's only two ratios in the proportion, not three. So set those parentheses up. So you got A times B is equal to C times D. Okay, so A is 900 and B is 1x. C is 800 and D is 1x plus 30. Okay, on this side, you just take 900 times 1x, that'd be 900x. On the other side, you distribute 800 to both these. 800x plus 24,000. Okay, you have x, regular x only, so just pick one to get rid of, probably the 800. So 900 minus 800 is 100x equals 24,000. Then divide by 100, and x is 240. But that's not your answer, okay? A lot of people will put that in the answer. That's wrong. You have to find the times, okay? So take those x's and replace them with 240, okay? So what's 240 plus 30? Well, 270. So take 900 divided by 270, 3.3 repeating. Now take 800 divided by 240, 3.3 repeating, okay? So the hours is 3.3, or 3 hours and 20 minutes. Okay, now that's the first one on the assignment. The first one on the assignment, you get kind of weird answers, but just go with it. Okay, and then this one is a different type of problem. You're still going to use the ABCD proportion. You don't have to do as much work here. So far, I've made 40 of 50 free throws. After how many free throws do I need to make in a row for my average to hit 90%? So a percent is a proportion, okay, and the percent is 90. And that percent's always over 100. That's your whole percent. Now, he's made 40 out of 50. Well, the problem is 40 over 50 is not 90%. It's 80, okay, because if you times it by 100, that's 80%. Well, so these are not equal. So here's what we need to do. We need to make more free throws. But then when I make more free throws, that also adds to the number of attempts. Because I've made 40 of 50. Well, if I make the next one, I've made 41 out of 51. And then 42 out of 52. 43 out of 53. So if you add x to the top of your number of makes, you got to also add x to the number of attempts. Okay, then you ABCD that. And away we go. So A, B, C, D. So A is 90 and B is 50 plus 1x. C is 40 plus 1x and D is 100. Okay, so I distribute 90 to both of these, and that's 4,500 plus 90x. On the other side, we distribute 100, and that's 4,000 plus 100x. Now your x's are both regular x's, so you just pick one to get rid of, minus 90. Then minus 90 from 100, that's 10. So 4,500 equals 4,000 plus 10x. Now you subtract 4,000. 4,500 minus 4,500 equals 10x. And then divide both sides by 10. And that's 50. Now you don't have to plug in on this one. It's not like the table. Okay, 50 is the number of free throws you have to make in a row to raise your average up to 90%. Okay, next one. So far I've made 20 out of 30 free throws. How many free throws do I have to make in a row for the average to be 75%? So this is my percent. I want it to be 75 over 100. Well, I've made 20 of 30, but 20 out of 30 is not 75%, okay? So we need to make more free throws, but then that also automatically adds to the number of free throws I attempt. So then A, B, C, and D equals, double your parentheses on each side. So A times B, and then C times D. So A is 75, and B is going to be 30 plus X. I'm going to put a 1 in front. C is a 20 plus X, and D is 100. Okay, so distribute 75. 75 times 30 is 2,250. Plus 75x, and on the other side we have 20 times 100, which is 2,000, plus 100x. Okay, now pick an x to get rid of. That simplifies the equation. So that's going to be 2,250 equals 2,000 plus 25x, and then minus your 2,000. That's 250 equals 25x, and then divide by 25, and x is 10. So you have to make 10 free throws in a row. Because if I make 10 here, that's 30. If I make 10 here, that's 40, and then 30 out of 40 is 75%. Okay, now the first problem is your speed, distance, time. It's going to be, the speed is x plus 4.38 and x, and then 9 and 8. Okay, you're going to set those up. You're going to end up, after you plug them in for your times and divide, you're going to end up with kind of a weird answer. Okay, it's less than even a full hour.